Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. So AvantStay is really an experience and technology first led hospitality brand where we've engineered and optimized an experience for groups, specifically around the short-term rental space. So obviously, I think with your website, ShortTermRentalz, this is something that we're focused on, which is really what is that group experience and how do we deliver it in not only a differentiated way, but an authentic and consistent way. Yeah, so we're using the funding really for three things. So market launches, so expanding into new markets and obviously bringing new amazing properties and experiences onto the platform, improving our technology, both in-home technology that syncs with our software. We have a tablet, which is called Compass. We have a mobile app, which we call Butler. And then we have a booking platform, which is called Stay. And all of that syncs with our back-end operational infrastructure so that we can deliver the experience that you would expect. And then the last piece is building out our operational infrastructure. So our teams, obviously we're a hospitality company, and I think one of the things that you'll never be able to replace in hospitality is the actual boots on the ground, delivering the services, making sure that you're taken care of and you feel like you're a part of this great experience. And that's never going to be solved with technology. So obviously that is a piece of something we offer with the experiential amenities that are incorporated into our brand. Yeah, I think Marriott is obviously one of the iconic hospitality brands and is arguably the largest and most influential. So for us to have an opportunity to partner with Marriott was big. It was important. It was a sign of approval where they had actually gone out, audited all of our properties. They had gone out and ensured that we had security checkpoints, the technology, everything checked the box of what a Marriott traveler would expect and of course what Marriott Corporation would expect. So I think from a vetting and becoming viable in the short-term rental space, being able to actually be one of the first brands on the Marriott platform was incredibly exciting to us. It also opens up an entirely new demographic and an entirely new currency for us. So, for the most part, people that have Marriott Bonvoy points and a lot of points. I was talking to somebody the other day who had 5 million Marriott Bonvoy points. It totally blew me away. This is a currency, and that currency can actually be used to book an AvantStay property. So for us, not only does it open us to a new customer segment, but it opens up this entire currency that we've never had access to. And I think people get excited about being able to use their points for an AvantStay hospitality experience. Yeah, I mean, group travel, I think at its core is very hard. It's very, very difficult. You can't have a day job and run a 6-bedroom property where you need to do pre-stays and housekeeping, customer support, 24/7 maintenance, have IoTs and monitors and all the things that you need to really deliver a great experience to the guest, but also to ensure that you're kind of complying with neighborhood and community guidelines. And that's something that we're really focused on. So I think the challenges around group travel is what excites us the most. And these problems haven't been solved in 20, 30 years. Nobody's even tried to solve some of these problems. So at least in the group travel space, this is something that we're really focused on creating an experience where you walk into a house and the authenticity is there. The design is there from an aesthetic standpoint. The functional design allows you to go down a water slide or play putt-putt on a mini golf course or play bocce ball or horseshoes, have board games inside the home. Then have an aesthetic design where you're excited about the wallpaper and you really have this warm, natural feeling for whatever the region may be. And of course, I think what's most important is making sure it actually functions for a group. The way that you live in a traditional home might be that your dinner table's for 6 people or 8 people. It's very different than how you build for hospitality. So you want to have a dinner, if it's max occupancy 12, you want to have a dinner for 12 people. And so there has to be enough function in the design that actually supports that. Something we've been incredibly thoughtful about is not only the experiential amenities and how we design it from that aesthetic or from that standpoint, but also the functional standpoint. And of course they have to look beautiful. And I think if you go to the AvantStay website, something that we're super proud of is our in-house design team. They are just absolutely the best in the world and absolutely incredible. And I think, huge props to them for how they've really design these homes in a hospitality way that fits our brand, is very differentiated and authentic to each region. So I think that, with groups, they want to show up and just expect what you've told them that they're going to get. So when you're booking a group travel trip, there's three pieces of friction. There's the financial friction of paying up front and how do you collect. There's the time of scrolling through hundreds or thousands of properties to find the right one. And then there's the social capital risk of showing up and it's not what you expected. Now everybody's upset at you. You're the person who's booking, they're upset at you. But wait a second, I put up the money and I took all the time to do this. Why are you upset at me? And so, but in reality, those are the three big risks. And so those are risks that we're trying to solve with technology. Split payments from a financial perspective, the social capital risk and making sure that pictures actually match the authenticity. And that has to do with building, which is Voyage, our operational infrastructure around how do we make sure that you're gonna actually get the experience that you signed up for. And of course, the time piece, if you come to AvantStay, you're spending less time because you have that brand affinity. You have that brand awareness and you feel secure in the decision you're making. So you don't have to peruse through thousands of reviews and hundreds of properties. You're going direct to the brand, which is again why Marriott has built such an amazing company. You have this trust and this loyalty to the brand. And that's something that we're working towards building at AvantStay. I think there's a lot of ways to look at urban living. So urban living can be co-living. It can be, hey, I want to live in Tahoe when it's ski season, and I want to live in Scottsdale, when the sun is shining in the fall, and I want to live in the summer on the beach in San Diego, right? So I think there's a lot of different ways of looking at urban living. I think it's really flexibility. So if I have flexibility to stay in an urban city when I want to be there, but then I also have flexibility to stay in what I consider to be a tier 1 destination market, that's kind of the best of all worlds. And the way that we look at the short-term rental market is in silos, and there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of different types of brands, a lot of different types of companies and models and structures. And so the fact that there's an opportunity to have an urban living life and also be able to experience some of these other group travel stays, I think that complement is very, very interesting for a lot of reasons from a hospitality perspective. And I think more importantly, we look at urban as experiential urban is important to us. And so some of the cities that we're in, Scottsdale and San Diego, even if you think of cities like Nashville and Austin and Miami, these are really experiential urban cities that have a core urban feel to them, but are also a tourism base that is booming, and a tourism that is coming and flooding into these cities where you can actually really have a great time in a group setting. And so there's different types of urban living. Some of it can be experiential urban, some of it can be business urban, some of it can just be, hey, I'm living in this great urban city and I just want to relax and have a great time with my family. So you don't have to add all the complexity, but I think optionality is key, and that's what a lot of these brands are starting to provide, is that optionality. And obviously AvantStay wants to be a part of it.